A green-tinted screen and braille lettering pops up that turns into the white Lighthouse of Houston logo. The Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art pops up on screen. There's a flash, then clips of Jennifer's eye, her walking down the hall, and reading braille appear. A montage of clips from episodes of the podcast begins with Jennifer talking to our guests and smiling. It zooms in on the Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential cover art.
Hey, y'all! And welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am your hostie with the mostie, Jennifer Parrish. And today we have a truly inspiring episode for you. Our guest is the one and only Miss Brittany Shavers. She is a remarkable individual who is blind and is also raising children who are blind. We'll be diving deep into her experiences, the challenges she has faced, and the incredible journey she and her family have embarked upon. Before we get started, as always, we will be describing the set for our blind viewers. So we are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us, and we have a white brick background with blue lights and a neon lighthouse sign. All right. So Brittany.
Yes.
Yay. Thank you for being with us today.
I'm truly honored to be here.
This is going to be an awesome episode. I'm really excited about it. Just full disclosure, I don't have children. So this is, and really that's by choice because, as a blind woman, I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. That's hard.
Some.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm straight. But it's awesome that you're doing this. So I'm really interested to get to talk to you. Okay, so we're going to start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family, and then your journey with vision loss.
Okay, cool. Awesome sauce. As Jennifer stated, my name is Brittany Shavers. I am 21 plus 10 plus 5. I've been with my husband for close to 10 years. Our wedding anniversary is coming up on October the 24th. We'll be married 4 years.
Yay.
We have 4 children. 2 are sighted and 2 are visually impaired due to hereditary glaucoma, which is called congenital glaucoma.
Yeah, so let's go into first your initial diagnosis with being blind or low vision.
Cool. So I am totally blind. My blindness comes from retina detachment. It's due to having type 1 diabetes, which is juvenile diabetes, where my retina, it detaches from my eyeball. So I like to paint the picture, basically like the old school TVs with the booty in the back, and you got the plug, and then you have the socket. Well, my veins or my nerves is the cord, of course. So, if you unplug that while the TV is plugged in the socket, you can see the picture, right? So when you unplug it, it goes black. Yeah. So once the cord is unplugged, I see nothing, just total darkness.
Wow.
And so my journey started in August of 2010. I got really sick. I had fevers. I took off of work, and I stayed home. And I woke up, and I had to use the restroom, but I couldn't get up. And so, therefore, my mom came maybe like 10 minutes later when she got off of work, and I hate hospitals. And I just said, Mom, I got to go. Fast forward, we went to the emergency room, and they told me my sugar was 416, and I should have been in a diabetic coma and died.
Wow.
And that was in 2010, so I had to be 23 at the time. Fast forward, of course, they put me on insulin, and I was young. I was in my early 20s. I did what I wanted to do. I was single. I was living life. I had a full-time job, a part-time job. I was in school, and I received my cosmetology license to do hair. Well, I was mobile, and this particular Sunday, I was going to do 2 clients' hair. I was driving on 45 South, leaving my apartments, and while I was driving, it was like someone threw a white sheet over my head while my eyes were open.
While
so
you're
all
driving.
I could see was white light, and I thought it was Jesus coming to get me.
Really?
So of course I got nervous and shooken up, and I exited and busted a U-turn because I'm like, I got to cancel my appointments. They're going to have to come here. I'm scared. I'm nervous. And it happened again. When I was getting ready to take the exit to my apartment, I was getting ready to run and crash into the boulder that separates the 45 South from my actual exit. I didn't want to go anywhere. I was nervous. Fast forward from there, I started throwing up. I couldn't keep nothing down. I just felt like weighed heavy. Come to find out, my kidneys were also failing due to the diabetes.
Wow.
So from there, then it got to the point to where I couldn't see to drive at night. And of course, I was very prideful, so I wasn't telling everybody. So I was trying to hurry up and leave work and be in my house, of course, by the time the sun set. Then it got to the point to where it would bother my eyes if the sun was too high. I would have to drive with sunglasses on. Then the crazy part, I only could drive when it was gloomy, not particularly raining, but when it was gray outside.
Right.
I could see so perfectly.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I can relate to that.
This one particular day, I stayed home, and I want to say it was Martin Luther King because it was January of 2012. And I just threw up, and, I was drinking, of course, the remedy ginger ale, sucking on peppermints. And I went outside my apartment to go sit down on the stairwell, and it happened again. It was like somebody threw a white sheet over my eyes. So I got nervous. I waited until it cleared, and I walked back in my apartment, and I went to just go lay down, and I closed my eyes. And this had to be between anywhere from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. So the sun was really out. I closed my eyes, and it was a window right there by my bed. And I only closed them for maybe about 2-3 minutes. And when I woke up, when I opened my eyes, I couldn't see anything.
And that was the last time?
That was the last time.
Wow. That's wild.
I'm not dramatic, and I have a friend that was over there at the time, and I was just laying in my bed, and I was just staring, and they were like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I'm like, I can't see you. And they were like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't see you.
Yeah. Trying to comprehend it in your own mind too, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
crazy.
And from there, like I love to tell everybody, it's on and popping. It was on and popping from now.
Yep. For real.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So after that, okay. So did you seek some, guidance? Did you come, did you open a case with the TWC? What did you do with immediately following this vision loss?
No. So what's so crazy? I was so depressed.
Yeah.
I was so depressed. I was scared. I was like, I can't talk on the phone no more.
Yeah.
I can't get married. I can't have kids.
Yeah.
And I literally thought I was the only visually impaired person besides this other visually impaired guy. When I worked at a school downtown on Louisiana, it was entitled Young Scholars Academy for Excellence. Mm-hmm. When they got out, we had to put line the kids up on the sidewalk because we knew every day around 3:15 to 3:20 of this visually impaired guy was going to come and swing that cane, and we would tell the kids, get out the way because we can't guide him. And I just knew that guy and I were the only two visually impaired people in Houston, Texas. And I cried because I'm just like, I can't find that guy no more. But I remember he had to have either been in school for culinary or he had to have worked at an actual restaurant because every day his uniform stayed the same. He had the top hat, the chef's hat on with the apron.
Oh, wow.
And yes,
that's awesome.
And the uniform. But I'm just like, I can't do what he do. I can't do anything. And it was a big transition. And I was depressed for like a whole year.
Yeah.
I was depressed for a whole year. And I was tired of crying. So it was January of 2012. Well, I totally lost my sight. October of 12, I started dialysis. Mm-hmm. And I would just cry, Jennifer, because I was like, I'm too young to have lost my sight. I'm too young to be on dialysis. I don't know what my life is going to be about.
Right.
Like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't do anything.
I have seriously so much sympathy for folks that have lost their vision in later life, because my vision loss occurred at birth. So I don't know anything else, right? I mean, I got a little bit of vision. I say it on every podcast enough to get me in trouble. It's not a whole lot, and I'm totally blind in one eye. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know what this is like, and I feel for you guys, man. Like I feel for you guys so hardcore.
Yes. Yes.
So after that, so you have a year and you kind of come into grips with this. So what kind of brings you out of it?
I remember waking up on one of my off dialysis days, and I remember waking up and I remember crying and I remember stopping. And I feel it was God talking to me because in that instant, He reminded me, Brittany, when you could see, you went to 3 different peers and classmates and close friends' funerals. So they never made it to live to even see 21, the legal age of drinking, where we could go out to the club, nothing.
Yeah.
I had a coworker, her and her boyfriend got hit by an 18-wheeler. So she died at 19. Had another friend, he had leukemia. He died at 20. My best friend, Amber, she died on her birthday, on her 21st birthday.
Yeah.
So they never got to live an experience, and I'm just like, what's wrong with me if I can still wake up, live to see another day? I just had to get with the program.
Yeah.
I had to get with the program, and I just leaned on the scripture so hard. And I'm really not, a Bible. I can't memorize the Bible, but I just know in the scripture it was just like lean not unto your own understanding.
For sure.
So from there, I was with my mom, and she hadn't had a stroke by then. And she was getting up and she was going to this place, and I'm just like, no, I didn't want to go. And so finally she just made me go. And turns out she was like, Brittany, I really want you to meet this lady. I really want you to go to this group. It's a visually impaired group. They're blind too. And that was VIA.
Oh, awesome.
That
okay.
was VIA.
Yeah.
And so my mom introduced me to the, multi-purpose center, Metropolitan Multi-Purpose Center, and to VIA. But of course, I was sick. I was throwing up. So I was sleeping VIA.
Sure.
I didn't feel good.
Yep. For the folks at home, VIA stands for?
Visually Impaired Advocates.
There we go.
There
okay,
you go.
Thank you. Yep.
And I met Miss Gail.
Yes.
Miss Gail Matwire.
Yes, I love Gail.
And she,
Shout out to Miss Gail.
and she turned me on to one of her longtime daughters, Cynthia Fobbs.
I know Cynthia as well.
Yes.
She's in choir.
And, yes. And she opened me up to so many things.
Miss Cynthia, get down, boy.
Yes, she does. And I was so impressed, and she just really took to me. And my nickname for her is Bubbles, because she's so bubbly.
She's so bubbly.
She's so bubbly.
That's
and
awesome.
so our first outing, I was trying to get away from under my mama's wing, because I'm like, I can't be under my mama. I'm in my mid-20s right about now. And so I spent the night at her house, and she was like, well, Brittany, we're going to an outing at Chili's. So I'm like, okay, I'm down. But of course, I didn't have no cane. I didn't have nothing, no mobility. I hadn't gotten in touch with DARS, nothing like that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Jennifer, we went to Chili's, and I was clinging on to Bubbles because I was so scared to walk.
Yeah.
We was gonna fall.
Yeah, and
do you
tight
know,
in there,
I sat in amazement. We were upstairs, and there was like 60 of us. Mm-hmm. And I was so amazed, and I'm so protective, because I'm like, how in the world are all of us gonna try to order some food?
Right.
We gonna be picking up each other drinks and touching each other food. So I have my left and my right arm on each side of my cup and my plate, because I'm like, I don't want nobody to touch my stuff. I don't know where their hands been. And we didn't drop glasses, we didn't drop plates. It was actually the waiter who dropped the food.
Oh, that's funny.
And I was just so in amazement. Everybody was walking around. Yeah. Of course, I stayed still. And, everybody came and greeted me. And from there, I was so inspired. I was still kind of in that, I'm not that independent.
Right.
But to see all of these people who have all these type of different and visual impairments like me, I know if they could do it, I could do it. I was independent when I was a sighted woman. So I'm like, no, I can do it.
Absolutely.
And nobody failed. Nobody did anything. And it just went on from there. I started going to outings and events.
Yay.
And Cane Day, went back when it used to be across from City Hall.
Yep.
And I just took off, and I met another friend, and she was like, here, you can have my cane. So I was
awesome.
okay, you sure you don't need it?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you can have it. And again, I was at Cynthia's, and they wanted to walk to go get something to eat. So I'm like, I don't know about that. Y'all ain't about to call Metrolift? Like, that's what I'm about. Like, and do you know, they made me. They pushed me.
That's awesome.
Oh, I was so nervous and scared because we was literally walking on the sidewalk. It was cars zooming by. I'm like, Lord Jesus, I'm finna die. I'm finna get off in the street. And it was, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5 visually impaired people.
The blind
and we
train.
made it to their restaurant and back safely.
Nice.
I was like, this is cool.
Have you gotten proper mobility training, like formal, I shouldn't say proper, but formal mobility training?
I did. Yes,
That's
I
awesome.
did.
Yeah, there
yes,
you go.
I did.
Yeah, that'll get you into
By
that.
this awesome O&M trainer, Mr. Craig Atwood. He's so awesome.
Nice.
Every time I moved to a different apartment, he gave me mobility. We went around. Back then when I stayed out 45 South, we would go to Baybrook Mall. I'm like, you do know Metrolift don't go out here, but sure, we can go to the mall and doing O&M training. And from there, even at the event at Chili's, I met this guy, and he introduced me to his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the late Tijuana Clemens.
Oh, God bless you,
Yes,
Lady T.
Yes.
We love her.
And,
Yes, we do. Rest in peace.
She ended up being my visually impaired mom. She took me under her wing, and it was really hard, you know, when she passed away. But
Yes.
like my husband Harold spoke at, you know, her services.
Yes.
If they seen her, they seen me. So we was like salt and pepper shakers. We were always together, and she put me on to DARS.
Awesome.
I got onto DARS, and my first counselor was Wendy, and
Yes.
they got me set up with everything. And of course, she hit me with like, well, let's go to Chris Cole. I was like, I don't want to do it. I'm not
it's
leaving
a big
my mom.
jump. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I think I'm independent enough between the lighthouse here and between Mr. Craig giving me O&M. I think I got it.
Yeah.
I think I got it. So I never went.
Yeah.
Just because I was just grounded, and
It's not for everyone. You know, it is. It's not for everyone. It's a great tool, to kind of immerse yourself and really, understand, what it is like to be. Because so for, again, the folks at home, Chris Cole is a rehabilitation center in Austin, Texas, and they offer, just training on basically how to navigate day-to-day life as a blind person. And so, but hey, you're doing awesome. So there you go. There you go. All right. So let's kind of switch gears a little tiny bit. Let's talk about, and not quite switch, but kind of switch. So let's talk about, your husband and family. So how did you meet your husband, Harold? Because Harold's awesome. We love Harold. Shout out.
We might have to edit some of this.
Oh, yes. Okay. Fair enough.
I received my kidney and pancreas transplant in March of 2014 after being on dialysis for 18 months. They were discharging me the next day, and I was just so down and depressed because I was just not happy about my living situation. I was staying with a sighted roommate at the time, but I just wasn't happy. I'm a free, loving person. I love to laugh. I love to joke. That's not, the energy was not there. And so I was like dreading to go home. But anyway, called Metro and got this reservationist. And his first thing was like,
oh, yeah.
Why you sound so sad and depressed? You want me to leave some Twizzlers on a Metrolift for you? And I had to laugh, and I was like, the crazy part about it is I love fruity candy, but I had an attitude. I was like, I don't even like Twizzlers. And I don't like lemon heads, but you can leave me any other candy. And he was like, well, you gonna stay on the phone with me till it's time for me to get off. So I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. So he's like, can I have your number? I said, sure, I guess. And when he got off, he called me, he checked on me, and then he told me he was visually impaired, which I was shocked because before then I had met no visually impaired person who had a job.
Yeah.
So that was encouragement alone for me. And he was telling me about his background, how he has congenital glaucoma. Mm-hmm. He got it from his dad. And, just his background about his basic family and then his kids. And we just became friends, and we would talk, and we encouraged each other, and I did more of the uplifting, and he was just I love a guy who can make me laugh.
Yes, he's very funny.
Very. Never seen him before. We just remained friends. And then he had his boys, and then he had his daughter, and I was feeling them, Jennifer. And then I was like, because you still doing something with your baby mama. You just had a baby, and
Right.
we've been talking as friends. And so I prayed about that, and I got over it.
Yeah.
And by this time, I was in my own apartment. Thank God.
Yeah, exactly.
I was still doing with DARS, doing my independent living thingy on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it's the weekend, so he was off. And so he say, I got a surprise for you. So I'm like, okay. So he comes over, and I had a deep freezer by my kitchen.
Yeah.
And so he said something on this deep freezer, and he went to the restroom. And so when I went to go feel what it is, I just felt something moving under the covers. So I'm
God.
like, oh, he bought me a puppy. How cute. It was his daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Journey was just kicking in that car seat, and I was so
Wow.
embarrassed. I was so embarrassed.
Oh my gosh.
And I met her, and she's mine. I don't care what nobody says. She's mine. I mean, from birth, we've been two peas in a pod, and baby, that's my ride or die.
Yay.
That is my ride or
Journey.
die.
Awesome.
Yes.
I love that. That's such a cool story. So some blind folks' parents feel that they need to shelter their children because they just want to protect them from the entire world and oh my gosh, everything's scary and stuff like that, which we, obviously don't prefer.
Right.
How, as a basically a blind or / low vision family, like how do you encourage them to, self-help, like help themselves, like, get out there and handle this on your own? How do you encourage that?
I think because I was sighted for so long, and I was so independent for so long. I had boyfriends, but I did not depend on them because I had my money. It's in my nature. I'm very dominant. I'm very controlling, some would say. But I am closer. I love all my kids. Let me say that. I love all 4 of my kids.
Yeah.
But Jordan, he was a little older when we met in the picture. So as far as the initial just knowing anything about the congenital glaucoma, I did not know. It was really Journey. Mm-hmm. And when I say I don't want to cry, but she's so, because of our relationship from a baby.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's just,
it's beautiful.
I'm more closer. We're more closer to each other, especially when she was a baby. We was always together. We was always together. And I love to tell this story. I just went to the ACB convention, and so they had this segment where it was called Laugh at My Pain. Yeah. So everybody was telling different visually impaired jokes and stories and stuff. And so my story was, Journey was about 3 or 4, and we were getting ready to move. And it was just her and I. Harold's at work. The boys were at school. And the Metrolift was so late, and so I had a return trip coming from the storage. And so, okay, they finally came. So I'm like, okay, Toot, get your booster seat so, we can go. And I had her backpack with her snacks and stuff and her coloring book, and I just let her do whatever and had that backpack. And so I got like stuff I'm taking to the storage. I got her booster seat under my arm, my cane, my backpack, her snack bag and diaper bag, me holding her hand, and we're walking with a cane.
Wow.
And we get
this blows my mind.
Yes, we get to the Metrolift, and so the driver's like, she can't ride. It's not a booster seat. So I'm arguing like with the driver for about 5-6 minutes, and I'm like, ma'am, she can ride. She's old enough. She's supposed to be in a booster seat. Like, come on. Like, I still have a return ride, and we're super duper late as it is. And so finally the driver just gave up. And so Journey was already in. So the driver was going around. I hopped in the Metrolift. Yeah. And so I was like, Journey, I got your sippy cup. I say, you need me to help you with your seatbelt? So she was like, yes. So when she said yes, I instantly looked up because I'm like, if she's sitting down, I'm supposed to be looking across from her. So I looked up and I'm like, Journey, come on, like, sit down. Why aren't you sitting down? And she was like, Mommy, I am sitting down. I felt it, Jennifer. Why was a stepping stool? Hence, we were moving, and my friend and her daughter left the stepping stool at the apartment.
Wow.
So Journey grabbed the stepping stool.
Like, let's
thinking
roll.
it was her booster seat. I was so embarrassed. I just kept apologizing to the lady. But our relationship is so close because we've just been joined at the hip. Even when she got older, it amazes the Metrolift drivers when we go anywhere and everywhere. She's like, I got it, I got it. She doesn't want to help, whether it's the bus or the cab. She doesn't want to help getting up in there. She doesn't want to help buckling her seat.
Nice.
So, and you know, they said, well, let me help you. And I got this attitude.
I got
on this
this.
side. I got this. Like, let me do it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a blessing and a curse. Even when she started school, she got into the habit of being, I guess, babied and more dependent on her sighted peers and classmates.
Yep.
And, you know, she has a mobility teacher. She has a Braille teacher. And like I had to explain to her and her friends nicely, I know Journey's the first visually impaired child y'all have ever seen. I know she's your friend, but I need her to be independent. It's okay for y'all to walk on the side of her. It's okay for y'all to hold her hand, but she has to use that cane. The only thing I want you to save her from is danger. If you feel like it's an ant bed or a snake or any type of something, that's when I want you to protect her.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard, but even at 3 and 4, she loved to cook with me. She would ask, can she cook with me? So we would cook. I would sit on the counter and I would start off letting her do certain things like, you know, make sure you wash your hands first. And, you know, well, you can butter the pan for, you know, for the cornbread. And baby, I put the tub in front of her, baby. And when I felt that she had Mount Everest in my pan, it was just a mountain full of butter. But
hey, butter's good. Butter's good.
Yeah, but she loves Jordan. He has more sight than Journey and my husband, so he doesn't necessarily use his cane or he doesn't have one. So he's very independent. Like now he's on the track team.
Oh, wow.
Don't know how that's going to happen, but he's on the track team at his school. Journey, she's a cheerleader.
Is she really?
With the help, yes.
So let's talk about that for a second. So how much vision does she have?
So she's totally blind in her left eye.
Wow.
And she has about 25 to 30% in her right eye.
Goodness. So she has assistance, or is it adaptive in some sort of way?
She has assistance with her cheer sisters and, you know, her aide or her buddy, what they call them. She's also her cheer coach. So they get her in line.
Wow. That is so cool, man. What sort of adaptive home sort of tools or tech or any sort of thing like that do you guys use? Because, I mean, you know, 3 out of 4 or however many of you are there that are visually impaired in the home. The majority of you are visually impaired in the home. So
we use CNAI a lot.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Preach
we
it.
use CNAI when it comes to documents for school, report cards, things like that.
So they're not faking it?
No. And then Be My Eyes.
Yep.
Be My Eyes when it comes to colors, bows, me doing her hair.
Oh, cool.
Me braiding Jordan's hair when it comes to, you know, putting beads at the end.
Yeah.
I love bump dots. I have them on my stove, of course.
Yes, ma'am. Me too.
My microwave.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
For those that don't know, bump dots are used to put on a touch screen device so that you can find where you got to press to access it or whatever. So,
yes.
So because everything likes to be touchscreen these days.
Yes, that's it.
Not awesome for us. But anyway.
Yes.
So, okay. Anything else?
Let's see. No, that's about it. I think bump dots and the apps, the AI apps, you know, that's how we pretty much get around and, you know, survive and become independent.
That's awesome.
And Journey and I love to go grocery shopping. So that's our thing that we love to do. And of course we love HEB. So of course we get shopper's assistance.
So you like to go to the store as opposed to using Instacart?
That
Or
I don't have
something
no
like
choice.
that.
But
Yeah,
yes, I
yes.
do. I
Okay.
like to go to the store.
You like to go to the store.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I
Again,
got
I'm
you.
very controlling, so I don't bring me no bad fruits or
That's for
sour
real.
fruits or
Yes.
stuff like that. So yes, I do.
ma'am. All right, Brittany. So one last question I do have
Sure,
for you, and this
sure.
is something we'd all love to know, is what's the Lighthouse of Houston's impact been on you and your journey and your family as well?
It's been great. It's been great. I felt like when Journey came for summer camp 2 years ago, because last year she was actually did the summer camp at TSB.
Nice.
But when she came to the Lighthouse, I was so amazed about their independence and how they were teaching her. And this was way before she got her mobility and her cane. This was a swimming morning, and we were running late, and so the kids and the staff here were, of course, all in the pool. And so we got in, and so I was like, well, Journey, they not in, but, I'm going to sign you in. So I was like, well, what we going to do? How we going to get to the pool? And she was like, I got it. Put your hand on my shoulder. And
Nice.
y'all, when I tell y'all, from the gym, I mean, she took my cane because she didn't have one. She led me all the way to that pool, and y'all just don't know, I was crying because it's just so amazing to know that she doesn't have a lot of sight, but what they taught her as far as independence, what she has, took from coming here. She loved it. And she loved the fact that they fed them like 3,200 snacks.
Yo, they really do.
But she really loved it, and she wanted to come back. And Miss Shelly Xander, she was, really good as far as, helping us out, financially and stuff as far as the camp. So it was really empowering, the Lighthouse, for myself and for Journey. So that's positivity, along with the different parents' night out and, Easter egg hunting, different activities they have for her.
Yes. Well, Brittany, this has been enlightening for me. This has been such an awesome conversation, and thank you so much for telling us your story today and hanging out with us, for your journey and the strength that you've shown, and they're truly inspiring. So to our listeners, we hope you found this episode as enlightening and motivating as we did. This was pretty awesome. Remember that you can find more episodes of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential on our YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. If you have any questions or topics that you would like us to cover, feel free to reach out, and we will gladly accept all of those. Until next time, stay strong and keep unleashing your potential.